everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Buffalo Wild Wings, Glen Mills, Pennsylvania. This guest needs no introduction. How about giving it up for Guffaw, Brian Prop. Hey, real quick, again, welcome everybody. We're this Fans View. We're here once a month. We're still a little new at this, but we just celebrated our 250th show. So we're still trying to figure out some things. But anyway, any cigar smokers? Brian has an awesome line of fall cigars. I know he's done a little bit of business early on, but he set up over by the raffle table. So at the end of the show, if you guys are interested, see Brian. He also has a website. He's got business cards. So I am not a smoker, but they smell really good. So that's about as far as I can take it. The raffle prizes, everybody's entitled to 2 free raffle tickets. The extras are $1 a piece. All the money goes back to our CCC charity. We're working right now with the Ardmore Food Bank. There's a lot of people that don't have what we have, so we're helping out as much as we can. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Kelly Lindbergh for coming out tonight. I love New Jersey. Love New Jersey. Christopher George, New York Rangers fan. I want to get that out of the way early. Sometimes the shows get away from us and we don't get to thank everybody. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming out. The fine folks here at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm not sure who's managing tonight, but I know my girl Courtney's behind the bar. So give it up for Courtney. Take care of all your servers, please. I think Brianna, do I have the name right? Is Brianna the manager? Can I get a hell yeah? No? I'm not sure. So anyway, but in any event, I'm going to turn it over to Brian Prop. He can talk a little bit about what he's got going on in his life, and then we'll open it up to you guys.
Yeah, how's everybody doing? Happy Friday, hump day. Here we go. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. So,
It's Friday. I wish it was Friday.
It's Wednesday. Hump day. So, I'm happy to be here again because Carl does a nice job with me. He just helped me with my my golf tournament that I had, my first time, Mark, May 15th at Riverwinds. He helped us maybe raise like another $1,000 for the Stroke Center at University of Pennsylvania, and so we'll do it again next year. And he's such a good guy, and his family really helps and does a good job too. But for me, it's just nice to be here because, it's not nice because it's so cold here in New Jersey. I moved to Marker Island in Florida, and so I'm used to where it's hot and warm all the time, but I'm in New Jersey for the summer, and I'm not used to that yet, but that's okay. I like my fans. I do a lot of golf tournaments. The Flyers alumni just had their golf tournament at DuPont last Monday, and so we raised a lot of money for that to give away, and so it's nice to be here. It just it's a little dry for me, but I don't mind because I meet other people, have lots of things going on, have lots of friends, and it's a draft today. So the Flyers can pick up a good player at that time. I know that with the team changing, with Briere being a GM, and LeClaire and Patrick Sharp, and Don Helfert running the game, it makes a difference. And so, they already traded a couple higher players like Hayes and Provolone, and so they're going to use that to build with the team. So that's what I'm looking for. too. Like if anybody has any questions about that, I'll be happy to talk about that later. And so a lot of people don't know, whenever I scored when I was in the NHL in the 80s and 90s, I did a thing called Gaffa. I got that from Howie Mandel, the comedian. Every in the 80s, he had his shows in Atlantic City every summer. And so I saw a couple shows and I liked what he was doing, so I copied him. Gaffa means a hearty laughter. And so I like to, when I scored a goal, I like to have a little more excitement with that. So that was awesome. And, just nice to be here. I know because I had a massive stroke like 7.5 years ago. I couldn't talk or walk at the start. So I've come a long way from that. I still have aphasia, which means that the words don't come out the right way. But I'm doing okay. If I slow it down, I take my time, it makes me not mess up as much. But I know I'm happy every day, just with my life. And my stroke happened when I was on vacation in Annapolis with my family. And if my family wasn't there, I'm not here today. So thankfully I'm still here. But enough about that. My life has been going really well, and I'm happy every day and love life.
And there's probably a hockey tournament, a men's league tournament that you don't miss. You're still playing.
Well, I still skate, but in Florida, no, not too much now. But and in Haddonfield, where we still have a house on the market right now, like I just skated at Pennsauken Skate Zone every Wednesday and Friday morning from 7 to 8:30 with the group of guys that I have, 2 goalies, 5-on-5, a couple of subs, good exercise, but I'm not there that too much now. But I usually do a lot of fishing at Seawell, and golf. So other than that, that's all been pretty good.
Very good, very good. Hey, Lauren's walking around the room. She has the microphone. If anybody has any questions, feel free to flag her down. Volume okay?
Yep. Yeah.
Volume okay back there? I just got to look in the back of the room, so I'll just double check.
Yeah, that's good. Yep,
Okay.
all good.
All right. So if you guys would like to get involved with a conversation with Brian, we'd love to, one-on-one, if you want to, ask questions, it's an open mic. So at any point during the show, feel free to jump in and we'll take as many questions as possible. As Brian mentioned, it's draft night, right? So we've got some ugly hockey right now in Philadelphia. Thanks to the past general manager, we'll put the blame on him, right, Chris?
Of course.
Isn't that what you do?
Yeah.
They're
They're not here anymore. Right. Yeah.
So, but we're in a total rebuild now, and I guess it's good. I don't know. It's kind of disheartening. You pay these guys all this money, and I'll use Kevin Hayes as an example. You bring him in less than 4 years ago. You paid him all this money, and then all of a sudden things kind of get just all twisted. He doesn't get along with the coach. He's getting benched. He's a $7 million player, and he's not playing for you. I mean, what can you add to that?
$7 million. I made $50,000 my first year.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah. You'll take that, not the play, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's the way it worked is like when I got drafted by the Flyers, it was a one league, so it was a World Hockey Association and an NHL, and so I got drafted the year that the NHL merged. And then there was a couple 18-year-old guys that got drafted too. Like I know Laurie Washman was 18, and so he got drafted before me in Toronto. And Ray Bork got drafted before me. And then, we had a strong draft that year. But at least, I was fortunate that I got 14th, and then Brad McCrimmon was 15th. Ray Allison was the 19th, and so a couple guys that I know, like, did a good job, but there was no marketing to do, so like that's why I made 50, 55, and 60,000 my first year. And so you didn't know any better, but you just played. And I lived on for a month, every month, like it cost me $1,000 that I lived on. So that was about it. So like I couldn't afford it, and so I had to work in the summer, farming and baling hay, and so. But that's okay. Character that we built, and all the guys that had the same thing. They didn't make that much money, but. We love in the 80s, we had better teams, and for me getting drafted later on the 14th, it gave me a chance to make the playoffs every year. And with Bob Clare and Bill Barber and Reggie Leach and all these guys that won a couple Stanley Cups. And then, that was special for me because I made the team right away and we did really well. I remember my first game against the Islanders. We beat the Islanders, and Bill Smith was the goalie, and I scored the game-winning goal and had an assist. And then we lost 9-2, and then it was in Atlanta, and I was like, "Oh my God, is this the way the NHL is going to be?" Because I know in Brandon we only lost 5 games my last year in Brandon, week games, and so I was like, "Wow!" And then we went 35 without a loss, which is a record to this day. So I'm very proud of that. It probably will never get broken because, they have shootouts and overtimes and things like that. But it's special to do that. And all five teams, 4 teams in the NHL, in Philadelphia got made in the championships. And unfortunately, we lost in Game 6 in overtime. Otherwise, who knows? I might have won a Stanley Cup there my first year in the NHL. Yeah.
All right. So with it being draft night, and I know there's a couple of huge hockey fans floating around the room. Maybe we can get a mic out there. I got Jack over here that I kind of want to pick on a little bit. He's probably the biggest, maybe the second biggest Flyers fan in the house. But Jack, give us your thoughts. I know you're a big fan of this guy next to me. You're a big fan of the current team. You've been on point with a lot of what you've said recently. But what are your thoughts?
My thoughts on the current team, or I love what we're doing so far. I think we're better ways to probably do it. So, almost like addition by subtraction, didn't get rid of things. I mean, you have to take that green element out over the next few years, next 3 years. The 6th-round draft pick, I mean, that's just throwing out anything that's, probably going to drill out of the Provorov trade, I thought they won that trade. You got a great young Swedish defenseman, eventually you can play very well for them along with some draft picks, and a couple guys who we're going to wind up getting salary bumps as well. But right now the Flyers are probably the first thing after they're losing out on contracts. Usually they're going out along with like $10 million so what's the next on the Flyers cap space? Using LTIR exemption every single year, and this is probably the first years they're not going to have to do it. It's going to be rough, probably for the next few years or so, but hopefully, the draft with 2 first-round picks so far. There's a lot of players that are saying potentially make it to probably not this year, but maybe next year. Hopefully, the same way as should be, but we'll see what that is. Danny Bruce, player as well. So far, that's what they're doing. They seem to be more interested with the fans, and they're getting rid of a lot of them. We're still a lot of puppy roads ahead.
How active do you think they'll be tonight?
Well, I just checked a few minutes ago, and it seems like they have 15 people who get traded. Realistically, I think Sam's probably the only one who wants to go if they have that drop first. If it's going to be 7 years old, that's when the grandpa was 30, 40 years old. It's probably the fact that we want them. Yeah, around here, but I'm not sure if they have them just yet. But, if you are, it's good now for $3 million to stay home as well.
All right. Well, that's some good Flyers talk right there. So hopefully they win tonight and maybe they get to move up in the draft. So we'll see what happens. But again, if anybody has questions, comments, whether it be from the 80s, back when the Fall was winning 35 straight, and Pelly was in goal, and Ron Hextall was beating up Chris Chelios.
Oh yeah,
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, we had fun, especially the fighters. Like I was a smart guy. Like I scored goals and bought the guys beer, and that they protected me. So
There you go.
That's all we needed at that time. But
That's how that Chelios fight got started, right? You said, I got my guys, go for it.
Well, Hextall was a competitor that really did a good job. He's frustrated that nobody did anything after the first game, and so he took on himself to kind of take care of Chelios. So I love what he did. He's a leader, and he's in my book, he did a really nice job for the Flyers as their GM. And Pittsburgh, I know they just got fired for that, but changing management, and so it changes every once in a while. But also I have a daughter, Paige. She's dating Jeff Hextall, Ron's son. So hopefully something will happen with that soon. Because I'm getting older and I need some grandchildren.
Oh,
Well, you do
No
know
pressure.
that you do know that dad's paid for the wedding, right?
That doesn't matter.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. Again, welcome everybody to Buffalo Wild Wings, Glen Mills. Thanks for coming out. Our guest is in a lot of our minds. I don't know if you guys know anything about Brian Propp. Check his Wikipedia. He's got numbers that belong in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and I'm not just saying that.
that's for sure.
He scored more goals than some of the guys that are really in there. So it's a shame. But anyway, Johnny, what do you want to do? You got a little Q&A?
Oh yeah, I do have a question now. Since today's draft day, obviously, and we're probably about an hour away. What would you be going through right about now? Obviously, draft's a little bit different when you had been drafted, but tell us about your experience of getting drafted and what you would be doing right about now.
Okay, so I lived in Saskatchewan, Canada, when I was younger, and I got drafted, but I didn't notice because I was working on the farm. So I didn't get a call. I just got a call from them. I didn't even know what was going on. So they just told me that I got drafted by Philadelphia. So that's all I did. And then we flew back there and got to meet the city and kind of be there. But I was really quiet. But I didn't know any better. Now it's a big production.
Yeah.
So everybody is going to be there, and they're making all this money, and they're there. But I was just working on the farm. I was trying to make some money, and I had to. But I think on the East, the people knew more about how to promote themselves with media and things like that. But in the middle of Saskatchewan, it's farmers, and you didn't know any better. You just had fun and played hockey and golf and did the simple things.
Yeah, well, there you go. A little bit different, obviously, like you said. Just all the TV, everything coverage. It's a lot different, for.
Well, we're a lot older. That's it's like 44 years since I got drafted. So
Right.
It changes a lot. I remember at the start, we didn't have cell numbers. You just had to answer a phone and emails just a little bit here and there. But so we got away with a lot from the Flyers, and we'd go to the bars, and then we had a couple of drinks. But that was fun because you met to meet other people, talk with them, The only thing that kind of bothered me was like if people got too drunk, I didn't tell them to shut up. I just stayed with them. But you learn after time just to say, sit down and just leave yourself alone. But but we get to meet the other people and just by being out a lot, I think that's why the '80s we were close because we had a beer together and talked about hockey and made it fun.
Yeah, that's what's missing a little bit today. You don't have that team camaraderie.
Well, I think that they're close too, but it's different. Like they have the chefs, promote food, and they work out a lot, and so they're probably just missing like the fun part of the game. But it shouldn't be like that. But a lot of people, take everything serious, and they're worried about their stats, like hits and things like that. So just play the game, and it'll take care of itself.
Exactly. That's for sure.
What else we got?
You want to do a little trivia?
Little trivia? Yeah, little trivia time.
We can do a little trivia. All right, on the honor of draft night, we got when were they drafted? So, what round was Kelly Eklund drafted in 1983? Got him all stumped. Like, come on now. So that's what we got you stumped because you guys are too used to our questions. All right. He was drafted in the 8th round. Quality player getting out of the 8th round right there.
Yeah, well, he did a good job. He was a quick player, but he kind of fit in with our team because we had tough guys to protect him.
There you go. All right. Another one?
Sure.
Here's one for Brian Propp. So in 85-86, Brian led the team in points with how many? Less than 100.
Jack disqualified.
That's why I was trying to do away with that Brian Propp questions because Jack was helping me. And it was a draft night, so I thought it would be a good idea.
You want to do like ask a friend, phone a friend.
Take a guess.
How much? Not correct, but close.
But more.
Those more.
More.
More and less than 100.
Closer.
94. 94 is incorrect, but closer.
There you go. Yeah.
97 is correct.
That's because he just Googled it.
We got a Rangers fan that answered it. Come on, guys.
Rangers, and I told you, he's in the center of the room for a reason.
All right.
What's he gonna do with a Brian Propp autograph photo?
You never know. You have a friend that
There's always fire.
we're all alumni now. Like I did the radio for 9 years after I played for the Flyers. I played a year in France after my career after the Flyers, and then I built an ice rink in Medford, New Jersey, for 3 years, and then the Flyers asked me to do the radio in the middle of the season because they were changing from Coetzee and Tim Saunders to just they wanted to put in like a third guy on the TV. So that Coetzee got started, and then I in the middle of the year I only had like a couple days to prepared, but I did there. I had Gene Hart and Bill Clement help me at the start. Every broadcast I tape and then look back at it and listen again and try to make better. And so it took me, I was brand new with it, and I was didn't really know what was going on. But it took me a couple of years. But after that, I felt comfortable, and but 9 years with the Flyers was good. It was every game I playoff and regular season with Tim Saunders. We did the calls in WIP, And so that was special for me, just because, when you're thinking about the Hockey Hall of Fame and you're playing, it explains what kind of a player you are, what you did before the hockey or after a game, and charities and working for teams. And so 9 years I was with the Flyers as their announcer, and then I was 4 years as a ambassador for them every home game with Dave Schultz and Bernie Prock. And then COVID hit, and then we didn't do anything after that. I think that Eric Lindros probably does like 4 or 5 events a year from them. But other than that, I love it. It's all about hockey. I'm still on the Flyers alumni board. We just had our golf tournament last Monday at DuPont Country Club. We had two courses, and I didn't win, but had a lot of fun using my Flyers putter.
Hey, speaking of Coatsy, his retirement, what's the, do we have any inside scoop on a replacement? Have you heard anything?
Have not heard that, but I know that he lives, I live in Marco Island, and his good friend, he lives in Naples, and so he's got the time, so he should come and visit us. Yeah, Piazza from the Rangers was running the team, but he's in Naples too. So we'll have Cosi. He'll take our money for us because he says his handicap's really too high. He golfs every day, and my handicap's like
32.
15, and he's like, oh, come on, you're better than that.
So are you a good golfer? You were saying you didn't win, but are you a good golfer?
Well, I was a really good golfer before my stroke, where I could hit the ball, about 200 yards, 300 yards, and then I was like a 4 handicap. But after my massive stroke, like my right fingers on the right side don't work, and so I have trouble. But I can still play golf. I'm about like a 17 handicap right now. I can play bogey golf, but just I hit it pretty straight and just keep playing. Have fun with that. But I'm the fastest golfer that you probably ever play with, because I just go up and hit it and then don't think about it. Yeah, that's the way Wall should be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guys stand over for 3 hours.
Oh,
thinking they're
yeah,
on
there's
PGA
nothing wrong
Tour.
with that. Yeah, even charities, just hit the ball. Yeah, you're a scramble. You got someone to back you up.
The guy's in the woods checking, looking for his ball.
Oh,
For half
yeah,
an hour.
yeah. Yeah, but I usually go to I play with bare feet, and so I'm always in the fairway, especially Florida. It's nicer there, and but I hit the ball pretty straight, so I play bare feet.
Well, maybe that's the trick. You got to play with your bare feet.
Yeah, I love it, because just different. But sometimes some golf clubs won't let you. You have to wear shoes. But I just
Wear it
Yeah.
after the first tee.
Yeah. Very good. And also, just so people know, I started the Gaffa cigars. I did a trip with Ken Dunnick and former Eagle and my son Jackson Crop. We visited 5 years ago. We went to the Dominican Republic, checked out a couple factories, learned how they're made, aged, and done. And so that's why I decided to make my own brand, the Gaffa brand, which means hearty laughter. I have boxes of 5, and 10, and 24, and individuals and bundles. But they're from the Dominican Republic, and the distributors in Chicago. So everything's legit, but they're very good. And most of the seeds are from Cuban. And so it's a full leaf. Some of the cheap cigars are much they don't taste as well. But you notice a big difference with you have a good cigar. And also I have I just started a month ago with a distributor for Breath of Gold. It's a spray that you spray 5 times and then takes the smell of the smoke out of your mouth. And so I have those for sale too. Yeah, it's all legit. So if you want to kiss your wife later, then if she doesn't mind, you have a cigar.
There you go.
Well, it's always things going on, and plus I'm working with the top solar company in the U.S. called Power, POUW. Like if anybody wants a presentation for their solar roofs, I've worked with them too. I just need a bill from you, and if you want to text me the bill, and then I'll set up a call with the people that I know, and because just for people to know where the solar, it's if you use solar, it probably puts the cost of your house up by 4 or 5%. So like it might cost you a little bit to put the solar in, but then you have it for life, and then you don't have to worry about rising prices, electric and things like that. So I got a lot of things going on. It takes me a long time. And plus, I'm writing a book with Wayne Fish, so that'll be done next November. And so like I'm just starting on working with that right now. Just up to putting a couple chapters together.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Is that how much hockey's going to be involved?
Well, there's lots of. It starts with my time in Saskatchewan with my family, and then hockey, of course, and then the 35 undefeated and all the finals that I was going to, and then of course a lot about my stroke that I had 7 years ago, and how it affected me, and how I grew up with my dad was a Lutheran minister. He preached in English and German every Sunday, and I've got 2 brothers and 2 sisters. We're all 13 months apart, so we're very religious, and so like I have faith that can help taking me through the life that I had after my stroke with my dad and my family, being part of to help much better.
Sure, absolutely.
So a lot of things going on. So hopefully I don't die.
Hopefully not. So I guess that's why we don't see as much fishing photos.
Oh, I'm fishing every day, but I don't post as many. Like my wife won't let me post that many.
Oh, okay. We were worried that you weren't fishing.
Well, maybe I'll start posting some pictures. Like I got like 5 big keepers already this last month, and now there's a lot of kingfish in the back bays, and so. But it's all good. Just love fishing and on the tides, and just.
Do you find it relaxing and soothing, and does it help you with your daily process? I mean, because for me, when I go fishing, I automatically zone out and think about nothing. I mean, I just stare out to the water.
Yeah, well, that's why I go fishing every day, because it helps me concentrate and just. I love fishing, and in Mark Island on the beach, and just doing some beaching there. But I love it. Just an hour or 2 a day. It makes a difference, and then you just take your time. And then usually I'm up in the morning early, like 6 in the morning every day, and I do a little work, computer work, and then just the days go fast, and it's almost July right now.
I know, exactly. This year's flying by.
And I'm going to go back to visit in Saskatchewan fishing with my family. I'm leaving Friday morning, so for a week with my family in Saskatchewan. And there you get good fish, pickerel and northern peck.
Better than Florida?
Oh yeah, it's so clean and way up north. It's near the north testimonies, and so but it's really good. It's clean. So yeah, but in Florida there's lots of different kinds of fish.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe we need to go to Canada and do a show.
Maybe we do.
Yeah.
Maybe we do. As long as they let us through customs.
You can now, because my brother Ron. He's been working for the city of Philadelphia for 2.5 years in IT for the old mainframes, but he couldn't go back to Canada because they wouldn't allow him. So he's able to come and go. He's 2 weeks vacation, so he can go back in.
Okay, all right. Lauren, what do you got? Is it time for the Mattis Minute?
We've got a second, well, first sheet.
Oh,
Start.
oh,
So the authentic and exclusive Mattis Minute t-shirts will be here soon. Don't be left out. Order yours today. Contact Christine Mattis. All starting to place your order now. The cost is just $15. What a bargain. All proceeds benefit Bill
I thought we would benefit the little guy. How about a big hand for Christopher? Come on.
Yeah, college
Come
fund
on.
gotta start. Gotta get that college fund going.
You got a future third baseman there, pal. Come on. You don't have to weasel out on a $15 t-shirt. You need to become that Major League Baseball agent. You need new shoes. All right.
All right, Brian, so we have a list, we have 10 questions here for you to answer. Some of them are hockey related, some not, but it's really just sort of the first answer that comes to your mind, but if you have a good story, we want to hear that too, so.
Okay.
All right, the first one. If you're listening to music, is it more likely to be Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, Bruce Springsteen, or Taylor Swift?
Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Yeah, because I like rock and roll.
There you go.
Did you ever have a special pregame meal or other ritual you did before every game?
Usually, what we did is like we'd skate in the morning, practice. We'd leave at 10:30 to 11, and then for a little skate, and then have a pregame meal at noon or 12:30. So I usually like to have pasta and a salad. And when I was younger, like we used to have a stoked steak every once in a while. But when I got older, after my 15 years, like I just had a salad or some soup, and I didn't want to be everything put down. But I love pasta. Like I have pasta almost every day today, and I love it.
As a Flyers player, who is your least favorite opponent?
Chris Nyland from Montreal, because I didn't know what he was going to do. He's nuts, and so I didn't want to be careful. And just for people that are here, I played against Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe was 51 years old when he retired. He was a year younger than my dad, and so I was 19 and he was 51. But I still respected him because you heard the stories about his elbows and cutting and things like that. So I stayed away from him because he played in Hartford when Ray Allison was first year. And but I'll never forget because my first year in the NHL, we had the 35 undefeated streak, and I played in the All-Star game with Gordie Howe in Detroit. So we played the first half of the year in the old rink in Detroit, and then they built a new rink in Joe Louis. And so we played in that All-Star game first time in his rink. And so, but I'll never forget the ovation that I got. 15 minutes because he was such a great player, and great time just to be part of that.
Do you remember a particular fight where you really kicked the other guy's butt?
Oh yeah, Dennis Savard from Chicago. Yeah, Google it because my wife, I just showed her a bunch of pictures and I kicked his ass.
Is it crazy hard to get hockey gear off so you can go to the bathroom during periods?
I didn't. Some of these guys took all the stuff, like most of it off, but I just would just take the shoulder pads and elbow pads off, and other than that, I didn't get undressed that much. And every once in a while I need to change. But most of these guys they sweat so much that they take the stuff out.
When you played against the Flyers, did you ever mess up on purpose because you just love Philly so much?
When you
played against the Flyers, Did you ever mess up on purpose because you just love Philly so much?
No, I was serious. When I got traded by Boston, Dave Pullen was there, and so we knew that we wanted to beat the Flyers, and so once you're gone, forget it. It's serious. Like I wasn't friends with anybody at that time. I cross and hack and push them in the face and do whatever they want. Yeah, I was serious. So like some guys just joke in the playoff or in the warm outs, and I hated that. I was like, hey, I'm with another team, and so like, leave me alone.
When you played hockey in France, is it true they serve you guys wine and cheese between periods instead of Gatorade and protein bars?
Well, you had a pregame meal with a little wine with that, yeah, but a glass of wine wouldn't hurt. Like that. But between periods was different. We waited until after the game before we'd have some more wine. But yeah, like the French players would so use the wine, and that and the thing is that when they have wine like that, it's so good. Like I just came back from Italy 2 weeks ago with my wife, and so wine is organic, and there's no sulfites on it, so like it makes it so much better. And so like but yeah, in France it's the same thing. I was in north of France, near the Basque region, where we were right on the ocean and it was right there, a lot of waves, but it was so nice for me just to retire there.
Did you ever get to drive the Zamboni?
What?
Did you ever get to drive the Zamboni?
No, I worked on the ice rink, but I didn't want to learn because then I would have had to drive, and so I was smart. I told people, I can drive a Zamboni. So like I was a manager, so like I didn't want to. Once you start, then you're stuck.
Have you ever guffawed somebody and they just thought you were nuts?
Yeah. When I played in Switzerland for a couple months there, like it was in Switzerland, and then so when I scored a couple goals, I did guffaw. But they were Italian, and they thought I was doing the F you. So I had to explain in Switzerland that what guffaw meant, and it was like guffaw, but they thought it was up yours.
Okay, last one. And at what age growing up were you finally able to correctly spell Saskatchewan?
Me? I grew up in Saskatchewan, but most of my friends don't have to say it or spell it the right way. Sound it out. Saskatchewan. So, Sask at chew at. Pretty easy.
Well, you bring it down that way, it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
We joke about it, but we're seriously taking orders for the Madison t-shirt. So, what color did we settle on? Oh, you'll do any color. Oh, nice.
Each one's a custom jersey.
All right, very good. Keep up the great work, Bill Mattis. Questions, comments? The show's winding down. I don't want to miss anybody. I want you guys to continue to have a great night with our guests. We're getting waved at the bar. I'll have a beer after. Warren.
Question at the bar.
Question at the bar.
No, I just have a comment. I used to work for Lufthansa Airlines, and flyers were flying out to Montreal, going back to the waiting area, and me and my friend hanging out, and of course, we're like, hey, fire. So, Papa was there, the whole team. My friend walks over with a tissue paper and had great coffee signings. I brought the signal, he looks, he opens his briefcase. I don't know if you remember this, probably don't, if you did this often. He opens up his briefcase, pulled out a nice picture, man, of him skating, and signed it for my friend. It was very cool.
Yeah, I always do that. I always have lots with me. That's special.
You gotta be prepared.
Oh yeah, well I've got lots here too.
Great story, Blair. Thanks for sharing that. It's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
stuff. Jack, any trades, any movement, anything? Nothing? Just a lot of rumors.
Just so everybody here knows, like I have my own gear called it's millions.ca. So if anybody wants a Gaffa t-shirt, my hockey tournament, my Gaffa hats, hitters, and my golf tournament t-shirt, I've got a lot of those. It's millions.ca. They're made in Canada. There you go.
Does Howie come after you about that before?
No, I talked with him, like when I first started doing the Gaffa, he called me in the playoffs. One of the trainers was there, and I thought he was joking, but he called me. He kind of noticed that I was, doing the Gaffa, and he said he didn't mind that I had. I thought he was joking, but I talked with him then, and then I went to a couple of his shows in Atlantic City, and then I had a chance to talk with him a little. I talked with him a year ago because he did a show in Atlantic City. So I had dinner with him, and then I talked with him about his heart problems and other things going on. So it was good, and just got to know him a little bit better. But he didn't mind. I trademarked the Gaffa. He had lots of other things going on, just like me.
Well, speaking of that, tell the story. Was it Coach Keenan that was,
Didn't like it.
he wasn't very happy about all that celebrating?
Yeah, well, Keenan was when I first started doing the Gaffa, he took me a couple of games before I scored, and then so when I did, I finally did. He went Gaffa, and he said, "What the hell is that? Don't do that anymore." And I said, I said I didn't listen to him. I just kept going Gaffa, because he liked to be challenged with other people. So like people that wanted to respond to him, he liked that. Like most of the guys would cower and sit back, but I think like a bunch of guys when Keenan was a coach, you'd tell him to F off every once in a while, but he appreciated that. But and he was a good coach, but he said too much right at the start. Like so, he got in trouble a lot of times for people that didn't realize that he was saying the wrong things, but he always apologized the day after with me. So I admire that for that. But I like the way he coached. I like that he coached to win every game, even if we had two lines to play. Like now, the guys can play three lines and throw in a fourth line every once in a while. But now they roll the rolls every time. So I tell people, if you have three lines, you can get more ice time. You get the better players will do much better.
All right, Johnny, let's reel off some trivia.
All right,
You guys ready?
I'm a little nervous. They were a little shy with the trivia answers.
Why is that?
I guess because they were preparing for Brian Propp, and I threw them a curveball. But all right, so in the 85-86 season, which Flyer led the team in goals with 58?
You got a hand up.
That is correct. There we go.
Got another one?
I do. In the 85-86 season, who was the starting goalie? We're the goalie that played the most.
85-86 goals. Excuse me, played the most.
110-point season. That was it. Lauren's getting a workout. They're going from one end
Hey,
to
that's
the
all
other.
right. Okay. Danny Johnson.
He was second. Close.
You want a second guess?
Bob Cruz.
It would be Bob Froese.
Yeah, all right.
He had 51. 51 games played, and Darren Jensen had 29. Pelly also had 8 that year as well. All right, so let's try this draft one again. Since we have a Pelly Eklund fan in the room, what round was he drafted in 1983? Oh, I'm sorry, in 79 he was drafted. Which round?
He said second. He said second.
Yeah, but he already guessed.
He was wrong.
Did I say?
I wasn't sure. You.
Did I say Pelly? I said Pelly. Yeah, I said Pelly Eklund. I meant Pelly Lindbergh.
No, you said Pelly Lindbergh.
Oh, I did say that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I didn't.
in 79, what round was he drafted?
What round was Pelly Lindbergh drafted?
No, not
Fred?
third.
All right, we got
Not
a
third. No fifth.
Yep.
Third's not correct either.
Fred, right here, Fred.
Fifth is not correct.
Okay. 7.
Oh, and he's wearing the jersey. That's not correct. It's not correct. Subtract the first and the second answer, and you got it. You didn't do math well, did you?
No math.
5 and 3 were the
Oh,
answers.
second.
There you go. There we go. Good answer. Our Pelly guy didn't get that
We're
answer.
gonna have to get an independent person involved with this trivia.
I know. I went off the books a little bit today. I was trying something different with the draft today.
Wow.
Well, I know. See, everybody was cheating. You know, going
Yeah.
on Wikipedia and knowing that it was
Yeah,
playing.
it's more of a challenge for
It
them.
was a challenge.
They're used to the easy questions.
See, now we know Mike Schmidt was cheating all these times when he got all the answers.
He was just reading before he got. That's all.
All right, so we got some extra time. So we got a New York Ranger fan in the house. So give us a New York Ranger story. What was it like going to the Garden and playing against the Rangers?
Well, I liked Madison Square Garden. First of all, like Chicago was my favorite stadium. Because of the noise that they did. And Montreal was the second because of all the history. But Madison Square Garden was special. In the 80s, when we played, there was a model that dated one of the players that used to sit in the second floor, second suite, and so you notice when she'd walk into the seats. So you were always watching for that. So we weren't really paying attention that much about the Rangers, but we just were looking for the model that was dressed nice and was you were always looking around and you could see her all the time, and then kind of distracting, but it didn't help because we kicked their asses.
There you go.
Did you give Rexner a little chatting about?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. But the Rangers were we were too good for the Rangers, like in the 80s, because we had powerful teams. But I remember like one game, like when I scored against John Davidson, like top shelf, over his glove, and so like that was my first year, and so but I remember that because it meant something to me.
I know you have a lot of things going on, but do you have any aspirations of coaching?
Oh no, live in Florida. Yeah, fishing and golfing.
Right.
I don't. Why would you waste time? You have to work. You have to do that. You're every day. You're doing stuff, and every day. So like a coach is brutal. But even when I did the radio, that was a little different because I had time to prepare. But we went to the teams, and we had charter teams. So you sat in the plane with the other people. So coaching was. I definitely did not want to do that.
Okay.
Because I started my family after that, like when I was after my career. So I wanted to work with them, but coaching is like really tough. You're hired to be fired.
That is true. That is true. Yep.
Any Billy Smith stories? Everybody hated Billy Smith.
No, but he was a good competitor, like especially when the playoffs come by. Like he's a money guy, and so but he used to swing his stick like around the side. Like I remember when Gretzky, like he knocked Gretzky down, and then they almost had a fight. But he was feisty. But I know most of the guys because when I did the radio for 9 years, I was alumni for the Rangers, the Islanders. The Devils and Washington and Boston, and so and I had a chance to play Herichuk's golf tournament in Winnipeg and Ontario. So I met a bunch of other people. Plus, I played hockey in Newfoundland and Toronto with other all-star games. So just for me, it was just special to be with these guys and have some fun. And we didn't really talk about hockey. We liked the music and what the stories that we had. Because now, the guys that play, they don't have many stories to tell. Like the old guys, they can tell forever.
Oh yeah,
and then some of them you can't retell. But it made it fun. We used to drink a lot, but I haven't had a drink. I drank like over 7 years now after my stroke. But I'm the driver, the boat driver, so I'm the Uber. But I like when they have fun because it gives me a little something to do.
There you go. Well, I mean, it's been an honor to have you back out again. You've done this quite a few times for us. We certainly appreciate you coming out and sharing the stories. Any last comments, questions, anybody before we close the show? We're going to stick around for a little bit. We'll draw the raffle prizes right around 8 o'clock. Henry, how's sales? Sales going well? We gotta support the Ardmore Food Bank. Kevin, thanks for the donation you dropped off at the store. Much appreciated. Anybody else that wants to drop donations off? 22 West Eagle Road. It's the world famous Carl's Cards.
There you go.
Yeah, I love it.
Jack, any last minute updates? Anything? Nothing? I keep looking over to you, that's it, huh?
Tell us they're not going to not do anything tonight. They better tell us they're not going to do something tonight. Right, exactly. They have to, but I hope that's not the case. That they're going to sit back.
All right, again, I want to thank everybody here at Buffalo tonight, all the employees, Courtney behind the bar does an excellent job pouring them drafts, making them excellent drinks. I would get my butt kicked if I can thank the Mattis Minute because he's putting a lot of work into that these days. So I want to, I'm looking for that T-shirt. Keep up the good work. $7. That means you're making $8 profit. Wait a minute.
You just gave away all the secrets. Oh, even worse. Cost is free. You're still charging yourself.
All right, I'm not gonna go any further with that. But again, I want to thank everybody. Fingers crossed, we're back here next month. It's a great opportunity for us here. You can follow us at This Fans View. We're on all the social media outlets. Lauren, raise your hand. She does a hell of a job getting the word out. She doesn't get enough credit. I don't say thank you enough. She does a whale of a job, and this isn't even her full-time job. So she does this on the side. just to keep things rolling, so.
We just
again,
had a videographer tour, or Nate title as well.
That's right. Video production.
Yep. Well, look out for the new videos next show.
Right,
Yeah.
new intro, new outro.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, again, thank everybody for coming out tonight. Stick around, hang around, let's have a beer together and see what the Flyers do at number 7.
Exactly. Let's go Flyers. The fun. Thank you, guys.
Goodbye.